The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
Good day, good people. Welcome to another purpose-filled episode of Lessons for the Journey. The purpose of this podcast is to share insights on information on women's wellness, understanding our whys, and the lessons that inspire us to take positive actions in ourselves, our families, and our communities. Our topics focus on women's wellness, seeing through a metaphysical lens, sharing spiritual insights, highlighting journey lessons, and building healthy relationships. I am your host, Dr. Hetheru Miller, and I share this space with engaging co-hosts on Fridays at noon for a transformative 1-hour experience here on Podcastic Live and Facebook. You can expect deep, thought-provoking conversations on self-discovery and personal growth. Special guests, locations, people, polls, and thoughts, co-hosts sharing wisdom and life-changing insights, powerful blend of spiritual, metaphysical, and wellness lessons, and tools and strategies to help you elevate your mind, your body, and your spirit. Our show is produced by Chantel Mosley of Podcastic Studios. Our co-hosts include Ma'at Sabah, Mary E. Bayou, Nicole S. Miller, and special appearances by Dr. Calvin T. Mann. If you are seeking clarity, healing, personal empowerment, this podcast is for you. So we need for you to engage, transform, and tune in. But before we start, we always encourage you to get your tools. Those tools being the most important. One, water first. Water, so that your body is hydrated and the new information that we're sharing can really be reasoned in your mind, in your heart, and your spirit. We also need for you to get your journal or your notebook so that you can write these insights. Even if you don't need it right now, if it resonates with you, take a note, put it down, because it's going to come back and it's going to allow you to make the connections and bridge some gaps that may be needed in what you need to hear in this time in your season. And so we're going to jump right into our topic for today, which is using our spiritual gifts this holiday season, which is really around how we gift our, I call them superpowers, but our superpowers to others. And so we always start this episode with doing some reflection. So we use our Ma'at memos, or Me, Myself, and I memos, also produced by Ma'at Sabah Network. She is going to allow us to pull a card. And so we pull this card for self-reflection, but we also pose the same question to you that we are reading for ourselves. The last time I went to the top, this time I'm going to as far on the bottom as I can get. We have a satchel here that my outlets is used to pull our cards from. So all of us in the studio pull a card. No one is exempt. Oh, whoa.
Alrighty, let's see here.
So my card says, what talent or gift do you have that no one knows about? Singing, drawing, writing, etc. I would say that one of the gifts that I have that nobody knows about is I write music. I write praise and worship music.
Told me that.
and the weird thing is, so I when I say I write music, I mean I literally write the notes. I literally write the notes as I hear it, and I write it. And, you know, it's probably considered more shorthand. But, I mean, I've had music classes before, but I can actually write the bars of music, and I can put the words to it. And it's, you know, it happens to me like that in seasons. So I've been doing it for about 20 years. And so when I write the songs, somehow they disappear, and they're resting wherever they are for the time that they're needed, and then they show back up.
Wow.
Right, I know.
What are you gonna do with them when you find them?
So you know, my goal and this over these next 3 to 5 years is to produce movies So I have a lot of stories that I really would like to see on film, and another way that we can get these lessons of the journey to people. And so a lot of my films are around lessons for the journey. So I imagine that some of them are going to be there. But the amazing thing about the music that I write, that when I write it and I sing it, things happen. But also the interesting thing is that, again, it disappears. I can't find them after a season. Like, I literally don't know where they are. I know.
Well,
right.
maybe they move themselves for a later date and time.
Yeah, I believe so.
So you wouldn't do anything with it until it was time.
I believe that too.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
Sometimes when things come to us, we think we're supposed to do something with it right then. And your energies go to something else instead of what you should be focused on.
Yeah, and I believe it's connected to the sound. During the time that I write these songs, I had not been introduced to like the sound bath and those types of spiritual tools. I believe it's connected to that though, because the frequency and the music in particular, how the tunes are put together and the tones are put together, it reminds me of that type of music. But so I'm sure it's somehow connected with that. So I'm looking forward to how that unfolds.
I'm excited for that.
That's a really interesting question. Thank you for that. Chantel.
Okay. So it says, if you begin to lose your material possessions or your job, would you handle the situation by faith or by fear? Explain how you handle.
Wow.
You wouldn't say. So before, it would be from a fear standpoint. I feel like because I've been in that situation, now I will be moving from experience. So now I will be moving from a faith standpoint, knowing that it's not punishment, it's preparation for something else greater on down the line. So, yeah.
Blessings.
Okay.
Blessings.
Awesome.
Ooh, these heavy hitters today.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait till the second deck comes out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. Yeah, there's more. So mine says, do you have the ability to see the good in an otherwise bad situation?
Ooh.
Why or why not? Sometimes. It depends on what the situation is. As if it's really griefful, or like I say from someone passed, let's say it's you might get a call that someone got into an accident and passed or something like that. Okay, well, how initially would you see the good in the situation like that? You wouldn't. So as the smoke clears some and you're able to center yourself, and hopefully you will learn to develop a process, your process that would allow you to push your emotions back and see things from a different perspective. Everything happens for a reason, whether we know it or not. And we might not believe this. I do believe that everyone has a divine timing of how long they're supposed to be here. And how they leave here is going to be different, specific to the person and their journey in life. So I realize when someone leaves us, it's their time. You're not going to go before your time. You can't go before your time. I've heard of instances where people did things to themselves that they thought would take them out, and it didn't. And it should have, based upon what they did, and it didn't. So it's just divine timing. And then I heard about a lady who was asleep in her bed. She lived on the second or the third floor in an apartment, and a plane flew into her bedroom and killed her in her sleep. I mean, really. What's the likelihood of that? So it's just a divine timing thing. So when you can develop a process to step back and look at some of the other lessons, if you will, that are in that experience, then you can learn to grow from it no matter what it is. And there's two sides to every story. We typically only look at one. There's always two sides to everything. And so, maybe start to teach yourself how to look at more than one side, so that you can see the gift in every single thing that happens. There's a gift when people pass, a lesson. Maybe it's something in their passing that we meet, it will be a lesson to us. Like maybe they pass because of a health challenge, and because of their health challenge, it makes you, start to pay more attention to your health. So everything has a They say silver lining or gold lining. It's just teaching yourself how to look at it from that perspective.
Wow. That is so insightful. And I kid you not, as I was driving here, I was listening to a message from my cousin, and she said the exact same thing about being in a position, in a place in her life where she believes to understand death and accept it, and not with fear, but to find the lesson and the blessing in the life that was lived. I mean, it was almost word for word what you said. And so that's just a confirmation. And I have moved into that space of understanding as well around the issues of life and death and how beautiful it is on both sides. Even as painful as it is coming in and as painful as it is, making your transition out of this incarnation, it is a beautiful thing.
We need to do a show on that.
We do.
On life, death, and grief, or in the blessings of that, or whatever.
The blessings of living.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially in this
Let's
season.
Kick off the year.
Yeah, let's do that. Because this is the season where people usually are really struggling emotionally.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Or maybe we can look at doing that for our next episode.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah, would that be after?
No, that'll still be before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that sounds awesome. Well, sisters, thank you for sharing your reflections, and I hope that those of you who are listening was able to capture the question and answer it for yourself. We know that this is an important part of unlocking that part of us that connects energetically. And so as we're sharing and pouring into you, we need for you to do the same, share and pour. And so here's our reflection question as a group about our topic today. So again, our topic is using our spiritual gifts this holiday season and gifting our superpowers. So what gift do you typically use or see during the holiday season? And we're talking about our spiritual gifts. And I just used, I gave you guys clear gifts. So clairaudience, just psychic abilities, okay? So I just gave a few of these because I know we have a lot of gifts that we're using, but during the holiday season, I think these are our extended senses, gifts of perception, extrasensory perception, are often high in. Oh, did you get this? Did you get this one?
No,
oh,
that's
here.
what I was looking for.
Okay. No,
I got one?
Yeah, we got one.
Okay, thank you.
That are really high. And so we can go through those, but I just wanted you guys to give some thought about. Oh, okay. I just wanted to give you guys to think about when you think about the holidays, because we're looking at this at holidays through a metaphysical lens. So as you think about the holiday season and the things that are that we see as the gifts that are operating, even in your own, what gifts would you lift up as more present during the holiday season? Let me see. For me, I think often the gift of it's claircognizant. So the gift of knowing, like you, and I'll give you an example. So, we had Emmy had our cookie fundraiser. And so Dr. Valanda sent me a gift in the mail. She said, you know what? I want to, I'm going to send you something. And I said, oh, okay. She sent me a sash that has like hand stamped. My two favorite Ndinkra symbols is the Ginami and the Sankofa. And she has the Ginami in green. Stamp, it's about the size of my hand, so it's stamped across this sash, and in between it has the Sankofa bird. So the Sankofa bird is in yellow or gold, which that's our solar plexus, our power, and she has the Ginami and at the heart chakra in the color green.
Wow!
And it's on a background of white, and so of course the white is about the reflective component of who we are, and we do a lot of that reflection, especially on this podcast, But for those two things, my favorite. Now, she doesn't know that those are my two favorites. She doesn't even know. I didn't know what she was going to gift me, but it was hand stamped. So if anybody knows me, the effort that people put into giving and giving with intention. She could not have given me a better gift of love than those two things. My two of my favorite symbols. And her knowing, she just said, when I called her this morning to thank her, and she said, I knew you would like those. I just knew you would like those. and I was really excited that she said that she knew, and I believe that was her ability to know that it was something that one would lift me up the way it did, especially my loss of time today, but that she would lift me up in the way that it did. And so I think that gifts like that during the holiday season, when you know that something is going to resonate with someone, like your gift, like my aunt's gift for you for your birthday, right? Yeah. It was what you needed, a whole bunch of your tools that you needed, and may not even know that you needed it until you start going and unlayering all the gift that was in that gift bag.
You're welcome.
Right, and so. But that's that's what I mean, that that gift of knowing showing up during this holiday season. I mean, and I know it shows up lots of different ways, but those are just 3 examples of how for me it showed up. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts for you? Any gift that show up during the holiday season?
I think we should, for the sake of the audience, read the
clear ones.
Yeah,
okay.
Clear, so they'll know.
Okay.
They can relate to it, and they'll know what resonates more with them.
Okay, so clear senses are psychic abilities derived from the French word clair, which means clear, that allow people to perceive information beyond the normal 5 senses, such as clairvoyance, which is hearing, clairaudience, which is knowing. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Seeing is clairvoyance, hearing is clairaudience, knowing is claircognizant, feeling emotions is clairempathy, smelling is clairalience, and clarification, or tasting clairgustance, things from the spiritual and energetic realms. These intuitive gifts often manifest as strong gut feelings, sudden insights, or perceptions of sense, sounds not physically present, but providing connection to the spirit or deeper understanding. And so I just had a list of some of the ones that we just read off. But when we talk about spiritual gifts, I think that our spiritual gifts that emerge during this time are a part of our clairsenses. So the senses that are beyond our regular 5 senses. So, okay, so the one that talks about clairvoyance, it says a clear seeing, visualizing images, symbols, or people not physically present. Clairaudience, hearing sounds, voices, or messages beyond normal hearing. Claircognizant, clear knowing, receiving sudden knowledge or insight without a logical reason. Clairsentience, clear feeling, sensing physical sensations or emotions from others or situations. Clairempathy, clear emotions, psychically feeling the emotions or energy of others as if they were your own. Clairtangence, clear touching, psychochemistry, or psychometry, gaining information about an object or a person by touching them. Clairgustance, clear tasting flavors associated with spiritual messages or people. This is a tough one. Clairalience, or clarification, clear smelling sense not physically there, often linked to spirits or memory. This is how they work. These senses are different from our physical senses, but use similar pathways, allowing for intuitive understanding, often helping individuals connect with spiritual guides, deceive loved ones, or gain deeper insights about life's events. People often have 1 or 2 dominant clairs, which can be developed through mindfulness, meditation, and paying attention to their subtle inner experiences. And that part of understanding, and the question that we're asking for reflection about, has there been, or what gifts do you typically see or use during this holiday season, is really about understanding that subtleness in the gifts that we just kind of read off, the clairsenses that we just read off. So as you think about it, any other insights of any gifts that might show up during this holiday season?
I do think it kind of ties into one of those, and it's just the gift of being able to bring people together. It maybe can tie into the emotions that kind of people carry and things like that, because if you know maybe they're strained on different people, you may be the one to try to be the voice of reason, bring them together. Oh, still come, still show up. Another one would be the knowing for me, knowing without knowing that I know, but just things becoming apparent so that I will know. So those two things are two of the ones that I feel like I strongly use for the holiday, because I am the person that brings people together.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah.
How about you, Mom?
I really never thought about it, but as I started to read this, as it specifically pertains to this in the holiday season, there are several that would apply. The clear cognizance, which is receiving sudden knowledge or insights about a logical reason. Clairsentient, sensing physical sensations or emotions from others or situations, and clear empathy, psychically feeling the emotions or energy of others as if they were your own. So when I started to think about when we're having, typically for around this season, when we have family around, I'm usually the one that's not saying everybody else or other ones don't, but when I really started paying attention to this, I'd read the room, but I don't know that I'm reading the room. And so say, for instance, if somebody's going through something and they're sitting by themselves and being quiet, I might go say something, crack a joke, because usually once you get people to laughing, that shifts their energy. If they're struggling with something, I might not say anything, but I pay attention to their energy and how it's flowing. They might just be going through something at the time and they just need to deflate. And once they deflate, they're good. Or once they eat, they're good. But being able to sense their energy, what's going on with them, and do I feel I need to do something about it or not? There's times that I feel loved ones in the room. I'm working on that to try and distinguish if I could feel the difference between who those loved ones are. Some I might feel stronger than others. The most recent one to pass was my dad, and if I had a stronger energy, it probably would be with him. That I think I can identify. My brother, when my brother passed, his signal to us has been cigarette smokers. He used to smoke, so when we smell cigarette smokers, I don't smoke. I know that that's him. Also, because of the passing of my dad and my brother, I'm more sensitive to my mom and how she's feeling during this time because it's been recent. And paying attention to her and her response to things, and if she seems like she's, maybe a little emotional, I might again go up to her and say something. I might just leave her be. Sometimes people need to be left alone, but I can still send them loving energy as a supportive strength. So I think those are the ways that, as I'm thinking about this, that I do during these times, because people's emotions are more heightened during this time, so you can feel it easier than you probably would have normally.
Right, absolutely. And so thank you all for sharing that. I think for our viewers and our listeners that this is an opportunity for you to start to do your personal assessment on what your spiritual gifts are. And so here's something that I'm offering to you. I created an assessment to help people during the holiday season kind of figure out which of their gifts are online, and in that to also help direct how you might be able to use it to support and help others, just as a guideline. It's a guiding tool, because I think it's important that, especially during this age that we have emerged and find ourselves in, and again, we talk about this a lot, but the spiritual gifts being online. People during this holiday season, as we close the year, as there multiple types of festive events that are cultural in nature or religious in nature, that during this time, it also opens us up for the giving and the receiving. And we want to make sure when someone is open that as we're giving them, they're receiving the right type of energy, that they're receiving the right types of messaging, and that we can help people navigate so they're not confused about what it is that they're feeling or they're seeing, and that there are not people who are putting energy out there to confuse them and to keep them in bondage or to keep them, away from others or isolated or in states of depression. There are a lot of people during this season because of the less amount of sunlight that you are exposed to, or the least amount of daylight that you're exposed to, start to, they close in and they isolate. Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that if you know that's your pattern during this time of year, that you have the supporting tools to help you understand it and navigate it. Because it is not designed for isolation alone. When you are being set aside, there is a work for you to do, your inner work to do. It's not to depress you or suppress you. It's designed to give you the time and the space that you need to go inward to do the work, not to go inward to hide or to isolate or to cut off the world in that way. It is for you to self-examine and explore. And so a lot of people get in that sense where they say, well, this is the time of year I get really depressed. And I caution people that depression and decompression are two different things. We sometimes go inward to decompress. Mm-hmm. So that means remove all the things that have been distracting you up to this point to keep you in a space where you can do your inner work. Not to make you feel bad about life and living. Depression kind of puts you in a space of fear and regret, and you hold that inwardly and you start to multiply that around you. And that's what's reflecting back outside of you. So what we want to reflect outside of you is your reflectiveness, is your the beauty of your living and the purpose that you have in this life and this lifetime and on this journey, and the things that you have inwardly that you need to give intention to, that this is the time to do it because more distractions have been removed from you. Not to make you feel bad about life and living, because the lessons that we have are just that, life lessons. And so we need for you to make sure that you have a good understanding of that and what this season is really for and about. Just a slight change in your lens and your perception can help make a world of difference. And so, as we get into,
I want to add something too.
Go ahead.
When you were talking about at this time, again, like I said, their emotions are higher than they normally are, and everybody's going through something. You might not know what it is, but respect the position that a person is in. When it comes to holiday season, typically, especially when you have a family function, don't guilt trip somebody into coming to that event if they don't want to. So I'll give two examples. They could be going through something you have no knowledge about. Now, they might have told you some things, but that doesn't mean they told you everything. So if they say, no, I'm not going to make it to the dinner, I don't feel like coming, and then they get phone calls, well, how come you're not coming, and you this and you that, and all you have to do is come for an hour, you don't have to stay, and all of that, or saying, you know what, are you sure you're okay? And if they says yes, respect that. Would you like for me to bring you a dinner bag? I can drop something by if you like. If you want me to stop by and, you want to talk or anything, I can do that. What about doing that instead of trying to guilt trip somebody into doing something that they don't want to do? If they show up at the event, they're not going to be in the right energetic space anyway. So let's be respectful of people and the choices that they make and why they make their choices. Now, if there's someone who is extremely depressed and they don't want to go somewhere, you do have to proceed with caution, because people can self-harm. They could do all kinds of things that are not harmful to them. You still have to respect their space, but if there's something that you're cautious about, then maybe that's something you need, you can work on as a collective. The people have enough interest in even doing that to help that person, or reach out to an organization, or maybe sometimes it might be best to get them out of the funk, take them somewhere else. Or, well, okay, we don't have to go to that dinner, but we could do something else if you like. So having discernment and empathy towards people during this time is really important. Discernment is the most important thing.
Discernment.
Having empathy and respect for the state that people are in that you know nothing about. Do not guilt trip people into doing something you want to do. That's being controlling. If you really care about them and love them, then you will respect the state that they're in. And however long it takes them to go through that, respect that too. Some things you can deal with in a shorter period of time, and some things that might take them longer to process. Everybody's process is different. So let's love each other. Let's respect each other enough. Let's give each other the time that they need to process and assist them with that if and when you can, using discernment.
Yes, thank you for that. So this is our overview. Using our spiritual gifts this holiday season allows us to be intentional about how we can use our spiritual gifts and abilities. The holiday season is often portrayed as a time of lights, miracle, and wonder. But spiritually, this season is more than just dates on a calendar. It is a moment when compassion rises more naturally, and the gifts God placed in us becomes more easy to recognize and express. Spiritual gifts makes us extraordinary because it includes our divinely sourced abilities rooted in God's purpose and spiritual maturity. When we align with love, humility, and obedience, we have the power to shift atmospheres, transform people, and invite spirit into the ordinary. So this is a kind of a three-part process. Part one has to do with the core identity of our spiritual gifts. I call them superpowers. And so it's four groups of them. So they're all kind of lumped into the group. And this is not by chance every single spiritual gift or every gift, but this is just kind of four broad categories that captures a lot of our spiritual gifts. And so what I'd like for you to do is listen for the group of gifts that resonates with you. And because we have the potential for all of them to be active, but for you to kind of prioritize which of them falls in what order. Okay, and so it says, did you know our spiritual gifts or superpowers fall into four broad categories? They are concept powers, function powers, mechanism powers, and source powers. These are the four gift categories that we will discuss and how they can be potentially used during the holiday season and beyond. Remember that as a gift bearer, that is the person who has the gifts, this season, we are being reminded that our gifts are not just for show, but for sharing. Be present. Okay, so concept powers are the abilities rooted in ideas, so the essence of something fundamental. Spiritually, this gift connects to gifts like wisdom, discernment, as you were talking about, my prophecy. These gifts shape perspectives, open understanding, and help people see God's truth. When you speak life into someone who is weary, you are practicing from a wholly subjective reality, helping them to see what God sees. And that's part of the concept powers. Matt, you want to take the function powers?
In function, these shape what someone does: create, heal, protect, and transform. Spiritually, these mirrors gifts like service, healing, teaching, giving, and mercy. You may not be creating galaxies, but you create hope, destroy despair, build courage, repair faith, and reshape environments just by showing up in your calling.
Wow. The function powers. I like that. Okay, so the next one is the mechanism powers. It says these operate the laws of reality like causality, boundaries, or physics. Spiritually, this looks like intercessory prayer, faith. This is the authority in Christ, which shift outcomes, redirect energy, and establishes new spiritual boundaries. Your faith can change the trajectory of someone's day, their season, even their life. You take the next.
Okay, so source powers. In function, these derive from technology, magic, or divinity. Our spiritual gifts come from the highest source, which is God. These make them not only powerful, but eternal, purposeful, and deeply needed.
So when you think about where you fall, I know we kind of covered a lot of information. Mm-hmm. So it's concept powers. These are the abilities rooted in the essence of something fundamental, like wisdom, discernment, prophecy. The function powers shape what someone does. That's creating, healing, protecting, transforming. The mechanism powers operate like the laws of reality, setting boundaries or physics. And source powers, of course, can connect to technology, magic, or divinity. And so when you think about that, and you think about your unique gifts, we kind of went over some about the our sensory gifts, our clairsenses gifts, that what those are for you, your unique order of where the most powerful of your gifts lie, and working your way down, so that you know in this season what's online and what is needed for whatever situation that you may confront you at that time. And so and it may be very, very simple. And here's an example. You are walking. This happens a lot at gas stations. There are people standing outside of gas stations asking for money, and your inner spirit is telling you to do something. What that something is, you may not know until you actually walk up on a person, or until spirit downloads whatever that something might be. Do you activate that, or do you walk past, I don't want to be involved? And there are moments when you feel that way. Follow what your spirit is sharing. It may not be the same thing as what your mind is sharing. And so that really releases your gift of discernment, right? There is some wisdom that is connected to that, but we're talking about your gift of discernment, what you should do through your spiritual lens, not through your physical lens. And so I think during the holiday season, it really causes us to use some discernment, because that can work on both sides. That can work for your protection, or it could be for the benefit of another. And if you're not using discernment, you can very well make a choice that is not with what's in alignment with what you're supposed to do that day. So use that as part of the process. And like my aunt was talking about before, if you have a loved one or a friend that is pulling back away from, the activities of the season, that's another good time to use your discernment to understand why. If you can't get it verbally from them, you have the tools in you to discern whether or what is the best course of action. And that, again, it could make a difference for somebody, for their benefit, and to prevent harm from coming to them and to you. So make sure that during this season that you recognize that you do have gifts. You do have these spiritual gifts. All of us have them. It's not online for everybody, and everybody doesn't see it as a gift. So for some people, it's just a natural state of being. That's the other part of this. It's so natural to you, and you do it so much and so often that it doesn't feel like anything different than you think anybody else might do. And the truth is, it is your gift. It may not be something that somebody else sees or is able to apply in a certain situation.
I don't think people realize that they have gifts.
Mm-hmm,
they look at other people about what they think a gift is.
Yes.
And a gift is different to each person. Everyone has at least one.
At least one.
So discover what that is and use it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that somebody out there is thinking about it, and that something that we're saying is resonating, because it was really, in spite of my typos and my content here, this was everything that especially things that are related to Lessons for the Journey. All of the information is download for me. I'm given, you got to use this tool. You got to put this in there and make sure this content is in there. And I pull content from different places, and but it's real specific. I'm guided to where I'm supposed to get information from. And so that's how I know that when we talk about Lessons for the Journey, it's not just about me. If it was about me, this would be a whole different thing. I trust and believe, right? Okay, so part 2 of this discussion is how to use and activate your spiritual gifts this holiday season. So first one is service, the power of sacred support. Just like a hero uses action to protect and uplift, your service gift moves unseen mountains. Volunteering at a food bank, for coat drives or shelters, shovel snow, deliver meals, help families in crisis. Offer your hands as instruments of God's love. Every act is a miracle in motion, and your gift has a ripple effect to keep on giving in more ways than you had intended or could even imagine. There is a ripple effect for action. And you know, in the universal laws that cause and effect, there is how do you say it? It's an equal and
opposite reaction
for every action.
Mm-hmm.
And we may not get to see the full ripple, but we have so many examples in nature. When you throw a pebble in a still pond and you see that is how it ripples across time and energetic space. We kind of think of things as isolated to the thing that's immediately in front of us, but that thing is connected to this thing. This thing is connected to that thing. This person is connected to that person. That person, and when I think about the 6 degrees of separation, that means that I'm connected to you, you're connected to somebody else, and somebody else is connected. You see this on Facebook, right? On social media. Your friends could also mean that somebody is connected to you that's connected to somebody that you are connected to somebody that you are connected to. And that brings us so much closer together. And I think if you really want to see how something has a ripple effect on somebody else, ask the universe, ask in prayer and meditation, say, I would like to see the evidence of X situation and how it impacted the world. And you will get the answer. Hold the intention for the response and let the universe bring the answer back to you so you can see for yourself how big what you might think is a small gesture or a small thing really is. It isn't small at all. It was necessary, and it's part of this ripple effect that holds us all together. The next one is encouragement and prophecy. The power to speak life. Words are one of the most underestimated spiritual superpowers. Write cards to people who are lonely, grieving, or overlooked. Speak blessings over family, friends, and even strangers. Offer words that affirm identity, purpose, and possibility. You are literally shifting emotional and spiritual atmospheres. What you say matters. How you say it matters. Who you say it to matters. And here's a space that I want you all to consider. We have people in our lives who we believe have it all together. We think they're strong. We think they're knowledgeable. We think that they have everything they need in their life, and your little gesture may not be important. Please do not overlook people like that. People, I consider myself a strong person. A lot of people consider me strong. It doesn't mean I don't need to be acknowledged. It doesn't mean that that the call or the text message or the thought doesn't mean anything to me, because it actually does. Mm-hmm. Because people think I don't need it, so they don't give it. And so because I want it, I need it, I didn't ask for it, it gets overlooked. And so don't forget the people who you believe are strong or who you believe have it all together. They have needs too, mm-hmm. that are often overlooked because people have a perception that they don't need it. So make sure you don't overlook people who you think don't have it or have it all, because what you may have for them is just what they need. Mm-hmm. So, Ma, could you take the next one? Number 3.
Mercy and giving, the power of compassionate overflow. Mercy is God's heart expressed through human hands. I like that. Adopt a family for Christmas. Become someone's secret financial blessing. Give coats, blankets, gifts, gift cards, or groceries. Your generosity becomes someone's answered prayer, and they become someone else's answered prayer, and so on, and so it is.
Do not take it for granted. Do not take it for granted. And when we talk about discernment as a gift, this also lifts the gift of empathy, right? When I'm a big hugger. Everybody in here knows. I mean, that just sets my heart, it just starts my heart right. But also when you're hugging somebody, when you're sharing that energy back to them, you also can feel the echo of what might be needed in that sharing. So you may get a jolt of, oh, you know what? I need to get her lunch today. Oh, well, I need to offer him this. Oh, and I can feel the energy by the person walking by me. And maybe you need to go back and say hello. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I saw you. I see you today. Do you know how many people walk around feeling unseen and undervalued? A simple gesture, and now we're talking about using our spiritual gifts, right? Your gift is telling you to acknowledge that person. You're like, well, I already walked by. Do you go back? Yes, you go back. You go back. You go back and you give what you were supposed to give, whatever that might have been. And so, again, this is from the lens of our spiritual gifts. This is not just the regular type of thinking. This is our spiritual thought. This is our spiritual gift and how to apply it during this season when it's needed so greatly. Next one. Can you do the next one, please, Mom?
Hospitality, the power of creating safe space. Hospitality is not about perfection. It's about presence. Invite someone who would otherwise be alone. Host a simple cookie exchange, hot chocolate night, or Christmas brunch. Make your home or presence a sanctuary. You become a doorway to belonging, a gateway to energetic connections, seen and unseen.
That hospitality, I mean, it is nothing like a person or a family that shows hospitality. I love the idea of hosting a cookie exchange. Oh, man, a cookie exchange?
Never even heard of that.
No, wouldn't that be awesome?
Fun.
Everybody bring a different type of cookie, and I like tea, so
yeah.
But hot chocolate,
cookies and crumpets.
Ooh, that's what we do at our book club.
Tea and crumpets. That's what it's. Tea and crumpets.
That's what we actually do that at our book club. It's tea, talk, and transformation. Matter of fact, we can bring that up for. So every third Wednesday of the month, we have our book club, and I'm not sure. I probably didn't see you in the most recent one, but so the one that's coming up for December is Shifting to Millionaire, and this is a book by Danielle Bowie, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting opportunity for us to get together again. It's tea, talk, and transform. So we build our book club around the topic of the book, and we have been blessed to have the authors of the book be able to have conversations with them. Your mom's book is for January.
Okay.
Yep, her book is. People already got copies of her book.
Oh, yeah, and they put another order in because she sold out.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think 5 people bought books at the last book for the January book.
Oh, wow.
They're like, okay, we can do the December book, but we need that January book because she had them with her there. So, but that was awesome. So, I think it's important that you have a space where you can do that, and that's why we created the book club. Oh, yes. Okay. And so coming up on December 20th, speaking of books, is our the Good Fathers Only reading book giveaway. So for boys 3 to 7, you can bring your sons, grandsons, nephews over to our to Lit Studios off of Telegraph between 8 and 9 Mile to pick up a book that features boys. It's for boys, about boys, and it features boys. And the fathers we have fathers who have generously donated their time for a reading series where they're actually reading and presenting their books to the boys. And so that'll be available very soon. So excited about that. All right. So let's see. Our next topic. Oh, this is faith and prayer. The power to shift the invisible. Prayer alters what eyes cannot see, but hearts will feel. Pray intentionally for family, co-workers, don't forget your co-workers, and community members. Offer to pray with someone in need. Keep a 12-day intercession list. Your prayers change what others don't even know is changing. Prayer covers the one in your prayer with energy and intent. With energy and intent. Mike, can you take the last one, number 6?
Okay, teaching and wisdom, the power to illuminate. During a season when the story of Jesus is everywhere, that love, mercy, peace, and forgiveness was born into the world, your wisdom, peace, and forgiveness matters even more. Begin with a cheerful heart when you share, smile, touch, and offer. Share insights gently and naturally during conversations. Acknowledge others as you walk by and make eye contact. Be intentional about your silent prayers for others when you see that they are impatient, unhappy, and unforgiving. Gift devotionals or spiritual books. Start a family tradition of reflection, affirmations, or scripture reading. Your wisdom, peace, or grace becomes a lantern in someone's dark moment.
Don't forget how important it is to share. And we talk a lot about, there are a lot of religious practices that happen in this season. In addition to those things, there are real people who have real needs that you can fulfill. And there's a way to do it without you necessarily having to be present or touching them. You can still cover them during this time. And the last thing I want to leave you with, before we get to, because we have a few more commercials, we want to make sure that you guys are able to get some holiday gifts and some ideas for some of the spiritual tools that we just talked about. So the last part of this discussion has to do with our holiday assignments. Illuminate the world with your God-given gifts. This season is not calling you to do more. It's calling you to be more of who you already are. The world does not need more noise, more stress, or more shopping lists. It needs more light bearers, encouragers, peacemakers, healers, and bridge builders. It needs you activated, aligned, and aware of the power you carry. When you use your spiritual gifts this holiday season, you're not only blessing others, you're participating in a divine cosmic truth. Every loving action, no matter how small, echoes far beyond the moment. It ripples through families, communities, generations, and even the unseen realms. You are not just giving gifts, you are the gift. In this holiday season, God is giving you to unwrap yourself fully, boldly, beautiful. Happy holidays. Mm-hmm. And so we want to share with you some of the ways that we share our gifts during this holiday season and throughout the year. If you can share my aunt's tools that she offers, including the memos and me, myself, and iCards. So, share a few of the tools that people can get this holiday season.
So I carry a variety of incenses, crystals, sage smudge sticks, pendulums, incense burners, all of that, all the spiritual tools that you would need. And then in my other product line, my personal product line that I've created, are the cards that we use today with the Me, Myself, and I don't know if they can see this. That's the way. It's going to be a 2-deck one. This is the first deck that we're using. This design was created by one of my former inmates in my prison ministry, so this means a lot to me. And these are questions that you ask yourself, because most people don't even know themselves until the question is posed to them, which we're finding out. You just don't think about it. Mm-hmm. The other deck is called Ma'at's Memos, and those are a deck of like 164 words of empowerment, encouragement, and introspection. I also have a deck coming out called Shared Intimacies. That's going to be a 3-deck for people in beginning of relationships, those who have committed, and those who have committed, they're either married or about to be married. Questions that they ask each other. And the other deck is called The Tie That Binds. And those are questions from parent to child to get to know each other as people. So my contact information is relationshipfirstaid.com. That's the website. On Facebook, Relationship First Aid. On YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Relationship First Aid. And the email address is relationshipfirstaid@yahoo.com.
All right. And so for our lessons for the journey, thank you. So there are, I provide one-on-one coaching. I provide small group coaching as well, and workshops and trainings that are customized for your needs and what you want to see grow and happen. And so I'm available for that. And these are great gifts because these are the gifts that keep giving. When you are investing in someone's growth and spiritual development, these are some of the tools and some of the ways that are available to do it. And so we both have books. So I have 6 books. I have 3 books for couples. One is called 25 Ways to Keep Your Man or Regain His Love, 100 Ways to Keep Your Woman or Regain Her Love, and then there's a book called The Survey. The survey is much like the cards my aunt mentioned, but these are questions that when you're dating, that you can either have we call it a date night, for questions and answers, a Q&A date night. You use this book to help guide through some of the questions to get to know each other better, because these are the questions that you don't usually ask as you're dating and as you're getting more serious about someone, but very important to know that will make and can make or break relationships with a change in answer without some additional learning. And also I have a book on grief, which is called Cardinal and Red Dress. I have a book on creating your sacred space called Patch of Grass. And then I have a journaling tool for those who are seeking to find their purpose or confirm their purpose and how it is actually committed in your childhood. And so you can go visit my website, You're Inspired with a D, yourinspiredjourney.com. If you want to learn more about me and what I do, you can also visit there, and visit Hetheru.com, which is connected to that website. But it also gives you a little bit more information about me, about people who I'm connected to who are speakers, can do speaking engagements. You can find Dr. Calvin Mann attached to that. My Aunt Sabah is attached to that. Some other sisters are attached to that too. If you're looking for speakers or a series, we can provide that series for you. So these are ways that you can give gift cards and gift certificates for Christmas, for coaching sessions, from Relationship First Aid, from Your Inspired Journey, and also through Dr. Calvin Mann, working with boys, men, husbands, and fathers. Give them something that's going to speak life into them. There are lots of ways that you can give material things, but this level of maturity is what you're gifting with our gifts. So we thank you for being with us today. Thank you, Chantel Mosley, who also has a podcast on Thursdays, One Step Closer. You want to give us a little heads up?
Yes, One Step Closer, every Thursday at 1 p.m. on Podcasting Network. Feel free to tell your story, testimony, and also get some healing while you're at it too. So
that's awesome. Thank you. So in the room, it's power. Tap in. We thank you for your time today. We are praying over your holiday season that the lessons for the journey that we share with you, that resonate with you, that you take them, apply them to your life, because real change is on the way. And the need for who you are, we need for you to also stay clear. Have a good day.